There was an agreement between the USA and Egypt. There was an agreement between both countries. There was an agreement between both countries so that Egypt would commit itself to the quiz and the USA would commit itself to applying free trade agreement. What we have noted that there was commitment on the part of Egypt but not the USA. How would you justify this, sir?
Well, the Minister Rashid and I had to make a judgment very early on whether we would rehash the past challenges that did not allow us to have a free trade agreement, or whether we would look forward and come up with a more appropriate mechanism to meet the desired objective of both of our leaders to have a more robust commercial relationship between our two countries. And recognizing the challenges with an FTA, we signed an agreement in May for the strategic economic partnership that we think allows us to meet many of those objectives. So I'm very pleased that we have been able to, not only with my being here today, but that Minister Rashid and his team have worked very aggressively to follow up with our agreement last May to see if we can't use this mechanism as in a way to increase trade. And the QIZs have been a success. The exports in those regions have doubled over the last couple of years, but they are still, I think we each believe, at an unacceptably low level. So we think working together, we can not only increase the exports from the QIZs, but also come up with an acceptable framework for more robust trade between Egypt and the United States. You all are welcome to, the minister is a remarkably talented man. You're more than welcome to ask him. I don't want to be such an ungracious guest.
My question to you, sir. We have noted that the plan of President Mubarak concerning the healthcare was opposed by several U.S. corporations because they believe that the priority is to provide job opportunities, new job opportunities. What do you expect concerning this issue?
Well, first of all, thank you for giving me an opportunity to applaud my president and our Congress for what was, I think, a very historic and courageous vote last evening, in which our U.S. Congress passed and sent to the president the most comprehensive health care reform in our country in over some 65 years. We unfortunately live in a world in which, judging by this audience, the United States and Egypt have one thing in common, and that is an abundance of press and 24-hour press that sometimes gives all of the story and not others. There were elements of our business community that were concerned, obviously, about our health care, but there were just as many elements that supported it for one simple reason. No matter what Minister Rashid and I might do to set a framework for increased exports, one of the single biggest costs for businesses in America, whether it's a big company like Boeing, whether it's a small company like some of yours, is healthcare costs. And every economist, just about every economist in America, predicted that if our Congress did not address our escalating cost in our healthcare system, that those costs would have increased up to 70% over the next 10 years. This year alone, we saw cost increases by some insurance companies up to 30–40%. We believe that that was unsustainable and would have been crippling to our economy. And I won't bore you taking you through all of the elements of the reform bill, but we think this was an appropriate and necessary measure, first of all, to ensure that every American has access to affordable, low-cost health care, that no family could be denied coverage because of a pre-existing condition, that just because you change employment, and in the United States, we live in one of the most mobile communities now in which young people may work for 4 or 5 different employees, that you should be able to take your insurance with you, and that we would begin to rein in cost. And all of the estimates show that over the next 10 years, in fact, implementing the health care reform, as President Obama asked Congress to do, will actually help reduce our deficit by over $130 billion. So we think this was not only a courageous and a historic vote, but that it absolutely makes great economic sense for U.S. consumers and businesses.
Thank you. أنا بعتذر معلش احنا
We have a meeting at 12 with the Prime Minister. I do apologize for all those who wanted to pose questions, but we have to leave. Thank you.